We know pretty much the situation in Europe, and both Draghi report and Letta report, I think, framed our common thought just after pandemic, and the necessity clearly to work very hard on our competitiveness. But I would say on top of that, we had a big acceleration of history. And we started to deliver on the basis of the Draghi report and the Letta report. Sometimes it's too slow, as a few people say, but it's clearly the Commission, and probably President von der Leyen explained to you this morning that she started to launch a series of omnibus initiative with the Vice President and the Commissioner, but we need the Parliament, and it's still too slow if you refer to Draghi and Letta report. But on top of that, we had an acceleration of at least three factors. One, which was already on track for Draghi report, energy cost. You mentioned it. And in fact, cheap Russian energy stopped in 2022, and there is no way back. And this is the first point to be taken into consideration. And we didn't properly fix this issue till now. Second, we thought that China would remain a supermarket for us and for our exports. And this situation is over. 2025 is the first year during which Germany, which was the main exporter of Eurozone and the European economy, had a trade deficit with China. It never happened before. And it's clear that during the past 2 years, we were overwhelmed by the Chinese exports towards the European market. And this is a total reverse of our history. And the third point is that the United States, our ally, is also increasingly confrontational. And post-Draghi report, what happened? Tariffs. But not just tariff, a series of economic coercion mechanisms on pharma, on a lot of other topics, on Greenland, on the Board of Peace, a lot of threats, sector by sector. End of Russia as a permanent provider of low-cost energy. End of China as a main export market, to make them our main competitor, and especially for car makers, especially for key sectors of our competitiveness. And third, having the US now putting tariff on our economy and coercion mechanism, this is a game changer. And this is why it's not just a transition. And none of this new factor will change on the short run. This is not a temporary shock. This is clearly a structural turning point. And